Yeah, this is Point Black. Coming in hard and off the cuff. Coming with the flow straight from the barrio. And coming with the heat from the dead street. Now, this is PBNN, Point Black National News, the latest and great edition, and the ghetto edition as well. You know what I'm saying? Because this is the late but the great edition. With the facts to crack backs and move it to their lying ass lips, as we can see. Now, today, we see a lot of them still in the Gaza Strip, still doing this thing to the Palestinian people. And creepy Joe Biden and them know it's an invasion created by you and your conglomerates all the way down to Netanyahu, dumbass, Yahoo. You know what I'm saying? To where you have created this invasion and you have been going around doing this for a very long time. South Africa, Algeria, many other places, the French, the British, the Germans, and the Germans got nerve to talk about anything to do about funding NATO when you was the one who damn near genocide those African people when you went in there and stole all the diamonds. You are guilty of this crime, and your day will soon be there. So let's just be honest. So where they're speaking about this criminal organization they call NATO, you know what I'm saying? And they're talking about a Palestinian independence, same as when you went to South Africa and did that to the African people who were there hundreds of years before the Dutch went in there with their bullshit. Let's just be honest. And they went into South Africa, took over government there, and started oppressing the people. This is something they have been doing a very long time. This is not just a yesterday thing. You see what I'm saying? Same as we see with the Palestinian people. My question would be, how long must this go on? And as we say this in West Indian terms, how long it a go on? So we know that the oppression by the European race with their military might and guns and all types of stuff that they bring upon these people has been going across doing this across the planet Earth. You know what I'm saying? The Dutch are guilty of many deaths and many destruction of lives within South Africa. Whether we go to Algeria, Libya, and all the countries in Africa, these invaders have been coming in there, plaguing it, and causing it to be, one of the dangerous places on earth. And it should be one of the most tranquilest and safest place on earth, whether you understand that or not. Now we see many of them have come into Africa and South Africa, many places, you know what I'm saying, across Ethiopia, Sudan, you name it, the Congo, all this all these places, you know what I'm saying? And we also know that many Africans have helped these people to maintain this type of wickedness upon the general people and the regular people of Africa as a whole. We have known you have done more manipulation to keep the minds of the people away from Africa as you raid, rob, steal, biological attacks, you know what I'm saying, practicing new medicine and on the people and all kinds of nonsense. But many of our people in Africa has allowed this. They are crooks. Let's just be honest with you. A lot of them call themselves this and that and the third, and they've agreed along with much of the genocide that we have seen going on in Africa for many, many, many years. Don't think that these Europeans always came in and took over. You know what I'm saying? Many Africans sold us out. You could even go over to what they call Haiti, which is still Haiti, one country, split in half by a tyrant himself a rapist and probably a pedophilia in himself, calling himself the Dominican. You know what I'm saying? That was Dominican, whatever his name was. And he split the country in half and took his bastard kids and put it on the Dominican side. You know what I'm saying? After raping the black woman. So many Dominicans can say that you are Haitian as well as the Portuguese or whatever mixes your blood. But at the same time, which we call the cooneria. But at the same, General Sarah said he called it the cooneria. I call it the same thing because it makes sense. But at the same time, you did this bullshit to the African people. You know what I'm saying? In Haiti, you know what I'm saying? And then had the nerve to put somebody like a tyrant, black ass idiot that they have continuously keep putting as leadership in Haiti. You know what I'm saying? And causing the country to stay distable for many, 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 many years. One tyrant after another. Never seen one that come in there and bring tranquility to the Haiti people in poverty, in those that have and those that don't. You know what I'm saying? It has always been the same shit year in and year out until it becomes a civil war, criminals running the streets, murdering the people, carrying on, rape, killing all kinds of bullshit, feeding off their own people, rather than standing up as the great fighters that once come from that part of the land itself, you know what I'm saying, and show the government of the United States that you're not going to tolerate anymore and prosperity must come and they must cut out this bullshitical what I call eco uh, 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 earthquake game that they play. You know what I'm saying? Thinking that nobody don't know the shit that they be doing. But we need to start to understand that these people have been going around doing across the planet. What has been the issue based on that is that the fact that it has been taught into the minds of the people to be acceptable. Acceptable based on what? Murder, killing, invasion, robbing, stealing, and every fucking thing else you can think of. These niggers is in there involved helping them. Many of the African leaders and many Africans have damn near genocide their own damn people. And then got the nerve to come over here and act as if, like the general said, you know what I'm saying, General Sorrow Sultan said, you come over here and act as if like you blaming us for what we went through. You know what I'm saying? When you going through 10 times worse than that. You know what I'm saying? Many of your countries are in shambles in Africa. Crime is high, crime, criminal, all kinds of dangerous situations within Africa when it should not be. And this is because of the influence of outside in invasion into Africa in all ways. And this goes all the way to the Ottoman Turks as well. And many, many Arab race of people coming into Africa with the same stuff. So this scrambling melting pot of garbage that we see on the land of the great mother Africa, you know what I'm saying, goes to show, you know what I'm saying, the long-winded tyrantness of even black leaders within Africa. They must be removed if they are not there for the tranquility and the respect and the glory of the great mother earth in which all are feeding off of. All are feeding off of, calling it their goddamn bread basket and bullshit like that. And you're still sitting up there, but you don't see the tranquility and the strength of our people to be gloriful in itself and build a mighty country in which we call today Africa. Then what the fuck are you doing in there? Hmm? Criminal all over, gangsters. You got Arabs leading Africans into gangster killing and murdering. Africans should be the leader. If that's the case, but the criminality got to go. That is a place of higher learning. That is a place of mad wealth. That's a place of the great glorious of all things to be disgraced this way. to where they used to even come into Africa and be hunting the fucking lions and animals and shooting them and killing them and shit for sport. Mm, Even the animals bear the scars of these beasts across the land. Mm. They have not produced one good thing along the way except pure garbage and pure shit, and then claiming every invention and everything for themselves. And you are in Africa doing this nonsense today. Even when we see the scars of the Palestinian people and what they're going through, tells a lot of the Biden and the criminals in this country, as we see, because this right here, if anybody has any type of sense, would see what we're seeing as exposure, as exposure to what you are really serving. Wake up. Even when we look at Hillary Clinton, talking about she's Secretary of State and all this nonsense, so she's not no Secretary of State of a fucking thing. She is a criminal. Just the same as Obama and all the rest of the Michael, Michelle, or whatever you want to call it, talking about she running up the gap in the demon. You vote for her and you're out your mind. But it could choose another person. It could be a black woman, but just choose another one. You know what I'm saying? Because nobody with the gender bullshit across the land. Either you is or you isn't. There is no party here. If I'm straight, then what's the party? If you're LGBTQ, what's the party? Blowing bubbles all across the street, running around, men dressed like women, like in Europe and shit. Back in the days when they celebrated Christmas, their holidays and Halloween and all type of shit, they so doing each other in the bum and all kinds of crazy stuff. You brought that to the streets of you, the United States, under great stress, duress of conditions. You bring 6 Baphomet statues in front of 6 state buildings in the South, each one with a plaque talking about 10 commandments. So now you know what the real religion is that you are serving every Sunday. But at the same time, now you're even putting up ornaments and statues of Satanism inside the capitals, inside the state buildings itself. And the people told you they don't want it there. And you persist and still do it. So now we know who you're praising on Sunday is no more than a fictitious being, but the real being is in front of 6 state capitals and the 6 state buildings in the South. That is a raw form of what you are seeing in your books that you think is right. Again, if you are black, why is your God white? And if you white, why is your God black? We must answer these questions. At the same time, let's look at this from a perspective. Many of the even people who are in racist groups today don't even should even by now have some idea about a life and a world in which show tranquility because all we see is destruction. And this is a common thing that they have been doing. Every time the demon Democrats take office, we end up in a biological bullshit. We end up in a war. We end up with mad wars. We end up with all type of corrupting bullshit. Even when we look at Hillary Clinton talking about Trump will pull us out of NATO if he wins. Yeah, he need to pull us out to gain our fucking respect and clean up the garbage that you, Biden, Obama, Bush father, Nixon, Reagan, going all the way motherfucking back did to this fucking country. So what are you talking about? Hillary nutcase Clinton. Let's just be honest here. Isn't it so? Isn't it so? Why is she busy up there talking this nonsense? Hmm? Hmm? Huh? And even when we look at many of the situations, you know what I'm saying? Many of the situations we see with this lady talking this nonsense. You know what I'm saying? But nobody care about what she's saying because she's just saying that because she wants to discredit Trump first of all because she's a loser to Trump. You know what I mean? And she's a part of fucking up our country for many years. So we have to look at that. You see,